Hey guys, hi, welcome to Edways channel. So we have learned the complete algebraic methods to solve the linear equations in two variables. So those are substitution method, elimination method and cross multiplication method. So now today we are going to learn the very important thing, like how do we solve the linear equations by graphical method. So graphical method, its understanding of graphs is very important guys. So if you can understand these graphs very well, you can just identify the values of those variables, like find the values of variables just by seeing the equations. So how do we solve, like here I had taken one question, that is solve the pair of linear equations by graphical methods. So the given equations are y is equals to 2x minus 2 and y is equals to 4x minus 4. So how do we solve these linear equations by graphical method? So graphical method in the sense, so here I will draw just a rough graph to get the solutions. Okay, so because I don't have a fair graph, I can't show it on the board. So what I will do is I will just draw a rough graph on the board. How do we get the different lines and how do we obtain the solutions from the given lines, right? So you already know that a linear equation, you already studied in your class 9th, right? So if you plot a graph for the linear equation, you will get the straight line, right? You will get the straight line. Any linear equation will give definitely a straight line, right? So depending on, we will get two straight lines, that's for sure, because we have two linear equations in two variables. So we will get two straight lines. So depending on those two straight lines, we are going to get our x and y values. How means, like there are different types of lines, again intersecting lines, coincident lines and parallel lines. So what types of lines are formed on your graph? So that will decide the solutions of your variables. So first let me consider this equation and we will discuss further. So what I am going to do here is, for two equations, for two linear equations, I will assume some x values and I will get some y values, right? So then I will plot the graph for that and I will do the same for the second equation also. So first let me consider y is equals to 2x minus 2. In this case, for each value of x, what will be my y value? So that means here I will take x and here I will take y value. Okay, so let me consider any 4 values. I will consider 2 positive and 2 negative. Let me consider 5 values. Okay, so 2 negative and 2 positive and 0 I will consider. So if x is equals to 0, what will be my y? I will do it for the same second equation also. It's same. So 4x minus 4, there also I will consider some values of x and I will get the values of y. So here if x is 0, what will be my y value? So 2 into x, that is 2 into 0, 0 minus 2. My y value is minus 2. And if I consider x is equals to 1, if x is 1, what will be the y value? 2 into 1 is 2, 2 minus 2, 0, right? So if my x is 2, right, so 2 into 2 is 4, 4 minus 2, 2 is my value. Then if I consider minus 1, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus 2 minus 2 is minus 4. And the next one, if I consider minus 2, x has minus 2, then y value will become minus 2 into 2, minus 4, minus 4, minus 2, that is minus 6. So I have got all the x and y values. So let me do the same procedure for the next equation also. So first let's consider x is 0. So if x is 0, what will be the value of y? This will be 4 into 0, 0 minus 4. 0 minus 4 is minus 4. And let me take x is equals to 1 in this case. So 4 into 1, 4 minus 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. And let me consider x is equals to 2 this time. So if x is 2, y will become 4 into 2, 8, 8 minus 4, 4, right? So then here, then let me consider minus 1, x is minus 1, 4 into minus 1, that is minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 8. Then let me consider minus 2. So minus 2, 4 into minus 2, minus 8, minus 8, minus 4, that is minus 12. So we have got x values and y values for both the equations. So what I will do is, so just let me write for the equation. Now let me write the coordinates of each equations over there so that I can easily plot the graph. So first let me take y is equals to 2x minus 2. So coordinates, how do you write? So the x coordinate and the y coordinate respectively. So for what value of x and what's the value you got of y, right? So let me write for the first equation, the coordinates are 0 comma minus 2, that is x coordinate is 0 and y coordinate is minus 2, and the next equation is 1 comma 0 because x is 1, y is 0, and the next equation, next coordinates are 2 comma 2. For value of x2, we got y value as 2, and the next one is minus 1 comma minus 4, right, x and y. So minus 2 comma minus 6, x and y. So these are the coordinates of the first equations, and let me write it for the second equation also, 4x minus 4. So if I write for the second equation, so the coordinates will be 0 comma minus 4, x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, so then 1 comma 0, 2 comma 4, minus 1 comma minus 8, minus 2 comma minus 12. So these things we are going to plot it on the graph now. So like how do we plot these values on the graph? So for that, first you need to know what are the basic rules to draw the graphs. Now let us plot these points on the graph. First let me consider a graph with 4 coordinates, right? So sorry, 4 quadrants, that is positive x-axis, positive y-axis, negative y-axis, and this is a negative x-axis, right? So now we have the maximum value of y as here minus 6 and the maximum value of y is as here minus 12. So as I don't have enough space, let me consider 1 unit is equals to 2 centimeters here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 on the x-axis. Okay, same here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So here minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12. So here also minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12. So now let's plot these points on the graph and then connect those points with a straight line. So the first equation, let's consider y is equals to 2x minus 2. So before drawing those points, let me discuss some of the points related to the graph. So this is the first quadrant of the graph, right, and this is the second quadrant. So this is the third quadrant and this is the fourth quadrant. So these are all things you learnt in your class 9. So in the first quadrant, the x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is also positive, right, x, y are positive, whereas here in the second, x is negative, right, and y is positive, negative, positive, and here x is negative, y is also negative. So whereas here x is positive, y is negative. So these are all the just basics. Like if we have plus and minus, where we have to draw, like we have plus and minus somewhere, like here, plus and minus. If plus and minus is there, we have to choose fourth quadrant. If minus and plus is there, we have to choose second quadrant. Okay, so then we should draw the graph. And what if it is one of the coordinates is 0? On the x coordinate, on the x axis, y coordinate will be 0, right, and on the y axis, x coordinate will be 0. Getting? On the x axis, y coordinate will be 0. On the y axis, x coordinate will be 0, right. So now let us plot these points on the graph now. So how do we plot these points? So first consider for the first equation 0 comma minus 2. So x coordinate is 0. Where does it lies? So this point lies on the y axis. So this is the origin with 0 comma 0 coordinates. So x coordinate is 0, y is minus 2. This is a point 0 comma minus 2. So let me write like that, 0 comma minus 2. And 1 comma 0. So what is 1 comma 0? On the x axis it is 1, on the y axis it is 0. So on the x axis it is 1, on y axis it is 0. So this is 1 comma 0 point, right? So and 2 comma 2, so this is 2 2, this is 1 comma 0, I wrote, right? So this is 2 comma 2, okay. And then minus 1 comma minus 4, so this is minus 1 is somewhere around here on x axis and minus 4 on the y axis, so here, so somewhere here and somewhere here. So this is the point where minus 1 comma minus 4 lies, and the next one minus 2 comma minus 6, so this is the point minus 2 on the y axis and this is the point minus 6 on the x axis, negative y axis, negative x axis and negative y axis. So here we have minus 2 minus 6. So now let us connect all these points to represent a straight line. So that is nothing but, let me connect these points with a straight line. So as it is a rough graph, I couldn't obtain a straight line. So but you will get, if you plot it on the graph sheet, you will get the straight line. So this is the straight line I obtained, okay. So by plotting those points on the graph sheet, getting. So next let me do the same for the second equation also. The second equation is y is equals to 4x minus 4, and let me draw all these points, let me plot all these points on the graph sheet. So the first one is 0 comma minus 4. So 0 comma minus 4 in the sense on x axis it is 0, on y axis it is minus 4. So this is the point, on x axis it is 0, on y axis it is minus 4. It is very important to represent the points. As soon as you plot it on the graph, so you should represent the coordinates of that point, otherwise you will lose the marks, guys. So and 1 comma 0, so 1 comma 0 is same here, like we plotted 1 comma 0 earlier also, right? So this is the first coordinate and this is the first point and this is the second point we plotted for the second equation. And the third point is 2 comma 4. What is 2 comma 4? Here is a 2 and here is 4. So 2 comma 4 is the third point. And the next one minus 1 minus 8. So minus 1 on the x axis and minus 8 on the y axis. So this is the point minus 1 minus 8, minus 1 minus 8. And the next one minus 2 minus 12, on the x axis minus 2 and on the y axis minus 12. So like this here it will be minus 2 and minus 12. So now let us connect all these points to obtain a straight line. So here I got one point, so that is here. If I connect these lines with a straight line, so I will get straight line like this. So as it is not the fair graph, I got it somewhat deviated, it's deviated from my points, but if you draw it on the graph sheet you will get the straight line, okay. So here we got two values, right? So where these points, where these two lines are intersected, so this is the first line with the equation y is equals to 2x minus 2, and this is the second line, that is y is equals to 4x minus 4. So now where these two lines, how do we obtain the solutions of the equations? So for that, consider these two straight lines and where they intersected. So if you clearly observe here, these two lines are intersected at 1 comma 0. So this is the intersection point, right? So this intersection point is called the solution of the given linear equations, pair of linear equations, solution of the linear pair, okay. So linear pair of equations. So this is 1 comma 0. What are the coordinates of this point? The intersection point 1 comma 0. So now what is x and what is y? The respective x coordinate is the x value and the respective y coordinate is the y value. So that is x is equals to 1, y is equals to 0 are the solutions of these two equations by graphical method. So just let me summarize this one. So what we did, first we considered the two equations and then we just assumed some x values and we got some y values and we plotted them on the graph, and we did for the second equation also, so that we obtained two straight lines. If the two straight lines, if they intersect at one place, so that intersection point is the solution of the given pair of linear equations. So what if these two lines won't intersect, right? What if these two lines overlap on each other? So those conditions we will see next. Let's solve one more problem by graphical method. So here the pair of equations are given as x plus 2y minus 4 is equals to 0 and 2x plus 4y minus 12 is equals to 0, right. So now if I take these equations, like first let me write in its simplest form in the sense, so the first equation is already simplified, like we can't further simplify that one. So the second equation I can simplify it further. How? So let me take 2 common in this equation, so then it will be x plus 2y minus 6 is equals to 0. So in that case I can write it as 2x plus 2y minus 6 is equals to 0, right. So now consider this as the first equation and this as the second equation. So what we are going to do here is, now we are going to plot the graphs for any of the variable, one variable in terms of the another variable, like we did in the earlier case. So first let me write the first equation as write for y only again. So y in the sense 2y is equals to minus x plus 4, if I send it to that side, then y is equals to here minus x plus 4 by 2 is the first equation, okay. And here write it in terms of y is equals to 6 minus x, right. So then y is equals to 6 minus x by 2. So now let us assume some points of x and get the y values, like we did it in the earlier case, okay. So the same thing here, so for what values of x and what will be the y value. So here also I will consider 5 values, 2 positive, 2 negatives and 1 0. So first consider x is equals to 0. So then what will be y value? Y will be 0, here x is 0, right. So plus 4 by 2, that is 2, okay. So if x is equals to 1, so what is the y value? Minus 1 plus 3, minus 1 plus 3 in the sense, sorry, minus 1 plus 4, that is plus 3 by 2, 3 by 2 is 1.5. And if I consider x as 2, minus 2 plus 4, minus 2 plus 4 is 2, 2 by 2 is 1, and consider x as minus 1. So if x is minus 1, so minus of minus 1 is plus 1, plus 1 plus 4 is 5 by 2, 5 by 2 means 2.5. And then consider x as minus 2. So minus 2 means, what is minus 2? Minus of minus 2, that is plus 2, plus 2 plus 4, 6, 6 by 2 is 3. So these are the coordinates we obtained for x, like x we considered as 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, and we got the y values here as follows: 2, minus 1, 2, 1.5, 1, 2.5 and 3, right. So let's do the same for the second equation also. This is the second equation and this is the first equation. So consider x as 0 first. So if x is 0, 6 minus 0 by 2, that is 6 by 2 is 3. So if x is minus 1, in the next case let consider x is equals to plus 1, 6 minus 1, that is 5 by 2, 5 by 2 is 2.5. And if x is equals to 2, 6 minus 2 is 4, 4 by 2 is 2. And if x is equals to minus 1, so 6 of minus 1, 6 minus of minus 1, that is 6 plus 1, 7, 7 by 2 is 3.5. And if x is equals to minus 2, 6 minus minus 2, right. So 6 plus 2, that is 8 by 2 is 4, right. So these are the values we got by substituting. So let's write for each equations, let me write the points at one place, like we did it for the last problem. So minus x plus 4 by 2. So this is the first equation we got. So what are the respective x coordinate and respective y coordinate points? Let me write them here. So 0 comma 2 is the first point, and the next one is 1 comma 1.5, and the second one 2 comma 1, and the third one minus 1 comma 2.5, and the next one minus 2 comma 3 are the points for the first equation. So for the second equation, so what's the second equation? Y is equals to 6 minus x by 2. Okay, so for the second equation, what are the points we got? 0 comma 3, 1 comma 2.5, and 2 comma 2 and minus 1 comma 3.5 and minus 2 comma 4. So these are the points we got. So let us represent those points on the graph now. So the first point is 0 comma 2. So that means on the x axis 0, on the y axis 2. So this is the point, right? So 0 comma 2, x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 2. So this is 0 comma 2. And the next point 1 comma 1.5, both are positive. On the x axis it is 1, on the y axis it is 1.5, somewhere around 1, between 1 and 2, right? So this is 1 comma 1.5. So and the next one, on x axis it is 2, right? On y axis it is 1. So somewhere around here, on x axis 2, on y axis 1, right? And the next, on the x axis it is minus 1. So x axis it is minus 1 here, right? On the y axis it is 2.5. So minus 1, 2.5, somewhere around here. So this is minus 1 comma 2.5. And the next one, minus 2 on x axis and 3 on the y axis. So 3 here, minus 2 here. So somewhere around here, this point, right? So now let us connect all these points and obtain a straight line, right? So this is the straight line I can obtain. So this equation is, what's the equation for this? Y is equals to minus x plus 4 by 2 is the equation we got, right? So now let's plot these points also. Let us draw these points also. That is, what's the first one? First point we got 0 comma 3. So x coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 3. So here 0 comma 3 and 1 comma 2.5. So 1 on the x axis, 2.5 on the y axis. So somewhere around, 1 on the x axis, 2.5 on the y axis, somewhere around here. 1 on the x axis, 2.5 on the y axis. So this is 1 comma 2.5. And next one, 2 comma 2. So 2 is here, 2 is here. So somewhere around here, 2 comma 2. And the next one, minus 1.35. On the x axis it is minus 1, on the y axis it is 0.35. So somewhere around here. So this is 3.5 and this is minus 1. So here, right? So that is minus 1 comma 3.5, right? So plot the points carefully, because on the x axis and y axis you should not confuse. So and then minus 2 comma 4. So where is minus 2 comma 4? On the x axis it is minus 2, on the y axis it is 4. So somewhere around here I can draw, right? So this is minus 2 comma minus 2 comma plus 4, right? So these are the points we obtained for the second equation. So now let us connect all these points, right? So this is the equation y is equals to 6 minus x by 2, right? So these are the two straight lines we obtained for the given equations. In the earlier case also we got the same straight lines, but those two intersected. So now how do you, these two lines are not intersecting anywhere, right? So how do you determine the solution? How do you find the solution for such graph? So these lines which they don't intersect are called parallel lines. These lines are called parallel lines. So for parallel lines, as they don't intersect at any point, so they don't have solution. So that's why no solution exists for the parallel lines. Understood? So this is one type of graphical method. This is how we solve the graphical method problems. In the earlier case it is intersected. So the intersection point is the solution of that pair of linear equations. Whereas here we have two straight lines which are one parallel to the another. So they are not intersecting at any point, so that you can't obtain the solutions. So now let us consider one more example to solve the given equations by graphical method. Consider it as case 3. So we have already solved for two equations, right? Two pair of equations where one we got intersection point. So those two lines are intersected at one point and that point is called intersection point. That's a solution, right? In the second condition, the second case, we got two straight lines which are not meeting anywhere. So those two lines are called parallel lines. So as they are not meeting anywhere, so there we don't have any solutions for those equations. So let us consider the third equations. What type of lines we are going to obtain? Let us see here. So first take the equation and write them in terms of one part, like consider the first equation, y is equals to, let me write it as minus x minus 2, right, because from the first equation. And from the second equation, let me write 2y is equals to minus 4 minus 2x, right, and y is equals to minus 2x minus 4 by 2. So now let us assume some points like same, some 0, plus 1, plus 2, minus 1, minus 2, and get the y values for x as 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, what will be the values of y. And same here also, consider x, and for values of x, what will be your y value. So if x is 0, what is the y value? So this will be x is 0, 0 minus 2 is minus 2, right. So if x is equals to 1, so it will be minus 1 minus 2, that is minus 3. So if x is equals to 2, minus 2 minus 2, that is minus 4. So if x is equals to minus 1, so minus of minus 1, that is plus 1, plus 1 minus 2, that is plus 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So and in the next case, if it is minus 2, x is minus 2, what will be the y value? Minus of minus 2 is plus 2, plus 2 minus 2, 0. Now for x is 0, what will be the y value? 2 into 0, 0, minus 4 by 2, that is minus 2. So if x is equals to 1 there, so minus 2 minus 4, that is minus 6 by 2, minus 6 by 2 is minus 3. So if x is equals to 2, minus 2 into 2 is minus 4, minus 4 minus 4, minus 8, minus 8 by 2 is minus 4, right. So and if x is equals to minus 1, so 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus of minus plus, plus 2 minus 4 is minus 2, minus 2 by 2 is minus 1. And then if we get the next one, that is 2, sorry, x is equals to minus 2. If I take the x value as minus 2, minus 2 into minus 2, that is plus 4, plus 4 minus 4, 0 by 2 is 0. So for minus 2 we got 0, right. So now let me represent these points, like let me write these points here. So for the first equation is equals to y is equals to x minus x minus 2. So what are the points we got? 0 comma minus 2, 1 comma minus 3, 2 comma minus 4, and then minus 1 comma minus 1, and then minus 2 comma 0, okay. And for the next equation, that is y is equals to minus 2x minus 4 by 2. So that is equals to 0 comma minus 2, 1 comma minus 3, 2 comma minus 4, and then minus 1 comma minus 1 and minus 2 comma 0. So now let us plot these points on the graph. So the first equation, consider the first equation's points, that those are 0 comma minus 2. So that means on the x-axis 0, on the y-axis 0 comma minus 2. This is the point, right? On the y-axis minus 2 and on the x-axis 0. And 1 comma minus 3, on the x-axis 1, on the y-axis minus 3. So 1 minus 3, right? And next one 2 comma minus 4. So on x-axis 2, on y-axis minus 4. So 2 comma minus 4. And the next one minus 1 comma minus 1. So that is nothing but here minus 1 on the x-axis, right? On the y-axis also minus 1. So somewhere around here minus 1 comma minus 1. And the next one is minus 2 comma 0. So on the x-axis it is minus 2, on the y-axis it is 0. So this is minus 2 comma 0. So now let's connect all these points and obtain a straight line. Okay, so this is for the equation y is equals to minus x 1 minus 2. So let's do the same for the second equation, that is y is equals to minus 2x minus 4 by 2. Like if you observe these points 0 comma minus 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 4, right? So all these points are same, right? So for this also the graph will be same. This is the point, first point is 0 comma minus 2 and second point is 1 comma minus 3 and the third point is 2 comma minus 4, right? And the fourth point is minus 1 comma minus 1 and fifth point is minus 2 comma 0. So as the points are same, if I connect them, I'll get the same line. Like the first line, the second line is overlapping on the first line. So what does that mean? So this line also represents y is equals to minus 2x minus 4, right? So for the two lines, we got the two lines overlap lines, like one on the another. So how do we obtain the solutions? So in the first case, they intersected at one point only. In the second case, they never intersect. That means they are parallel lines. So in the third case, what we observed here, they are intersecting at every point. So that is, they are called coincident lines. What's the term? Coincident lines. So these lines are called coincident lines, where they intersect at each point. So at each point. So each point acts as the solution. Each point acts as the solution. So that means every point is a solution. This point is a solution, this point is a solution, this point is a solution, and this point is a solution. So at every point, consider any point where they meet, they coincide. So that point acts as the solution. So further, for these coincident lines, we have infinitely many solutions. Okay, so infinitely many solutions. That is nothing but at every point you will get the solution of x and y. If I consider this point, respective x coordinate and respective y coordinate is the solution. If I consider the point at this place, respective x coordinate and respective y coordinate will be the solution. So like that, you can obtain the solutions of the linear equations for two variables by different graphical methods. So graphical methods also we got three cases. So the first one where we got intersection, points intersection. In the second one we got they never intersects, parallel lines, there no solution. In the first case, only single solution. In the third case, infinitely many solutions where they intersect at each points. Those lines are called coincident lines. So in the next class, what we do is, we'll write all these things at one place and we'll see how to identify the given equations, whether they are intersecting lines or coincident lines or parallel lines. Without doing all these calculations, how can we identify them? So there is some trick, we'll learn it in the next class, and we'll also solve some problems related to that. And also we'll take one problem, any one linear equations in two variable, and we'll solve it by all the methods like algebraic method and the graphical method. We should get the same solutions by all the methods. So let us do that in the next class.
I thank Edways who are trying to give broad information for the students who wanted to do medicine program in abroad, and for more information please subscribe Edways.
I would like to congratulate Mr. Karnakar to start such an initiative which will be available for all the students on YouTube.
Thanks to Edways, and please subscribe the channel.
ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చాలా మందికి రీచ్ అవ్వాలి, ఈ అడ్వైస్ ఛానల్లో వచ్చే కార్యక్రమాలు చాలా మంది విద్యార్థులకు రీచ్ అవ్వాలి అంటే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు అడ్వైస్.
హాయ్ అండి, నేను డాక్టర్ రామ్. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ EDWays ఛానల్. సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు EDWays.
Thanks to Edways channel. Please subscribe Edways channel.
Hello guys, like for successful journey of your studies platform destination, so please follow and subscribe to edways.in.
Thanks to Edways. Please subscribe Edways.
All the best for the Edways, and please subscribe the channel.
And please subscribe to Edways YouTube channel.
Thanks to Edways for giving me an opportunity to subscribe for Edways.
Please subscribe to Edways YouTube channel.